This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
All of a sudden we heard a boom, and then all the trees started coming down and water coming through the ceiling from the second floor, and it's a mess.
A scary night for many across the bi-state. Severe thunderstorms and tornado warnings left thousands without power and littered many homes and neighborhoods with debris. Good evening, I'm Mark Maxwell. Mike Bush has the night off. That severe weather impacted communities across the bi-state. Here's a look at some of those photos viewers sent us throughout the storms last night. Neighborhoods in Missouri and Illinois sustained serious damage last night. One of the hardest hit areas was in the Metro East, Hecker, Illinois, where radar confirmed a tornado touchdown. That's where neighbors were out lending a hand today as that cleanup process began. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay was on scene last night and spoke with a homeowner after a tree came crashing through her living room roof. Mercedes was back in Monroe County again today, where they begin their recovery.
This is just some of the structural damage we've seen here in Hecker, Illinois. A lot of downed trees and down power lines, but I just want to show you this home right here behind me. You can see those strong winds from Saturday night storm completely ripped this wall out. You can see inside this family's garage, you see Christmas trees, decorations, bikes. The homeowner here told me that he was just making sure all the doors were closed. Those doors actually connect to him and his wife's bedroom. He said he opened the door to make sure it was completely shut, and that's when he noticed this wall was completely torn down. He said there isn't really much other damage in their home. There is some leaking on the roof, but beside that, everyone here is just grateful they're alive.
I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know when the electric's coming on, even if it does, if the house is usable.
Like many in Monroe County on Sunday morning,
It was like raining inside the house all the way across.
Noah Dillard is trying to figure out what to do next.
Well, I didn't really know what to think. I looked out the window and seen a tree was right there.
Saturday night storms uprooting a backyard tree right on top of Dillard's home.
It was like it was raining inside. The light fixtures had water pouring out of them like it was a faucet.
The high winds blowing trampolines in the air and pieces of Dillard's home across the street.
You can see the entire neighborhood is speckled with my shingles. So that's nice.
Once the sun came up, Monroe County Public Safety Director Kevin Scheibe was back out assessing the damage.
We had a very long night and eventually we'll get some sleep.
Scheibe says every community in the county was impacted by the storms.
Lots of structural damage, no casualties, thankfully.
While there's a lot of repairs to be done, there's a lot of helping hands.
The traffic is truly increased in Hecker.
And this community will rebuild together.
Everybody's there to help each other. That's what makes Monroe County very unique.
In Hecker, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
And Ameren customers in Hecker will likely be without power until 10 o'clock tomorrow night. The Monroe County Public Safety Director says stay away from any downed power lines and avoid the area if you can. The Missouri side also saw some serious damage. The National Weather Service was out surveying the Valley Park area today. Radar confirmed a tornado touchdown there last night. The severe weather in that community started yesterday afternoon with strong hail before high winds picked up. The pool inside this Baldwin Rec Center is also now closed until further notice. Last night's high winds brought serious damage to the point at Baldwin Commons. An entire section of windows shattered in those storms, closing the indoor pool. Neighborhoods in Jefferson County also suffered damage. Both Peevely and Herculaneum saw downed trees throughout the area. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski will have more on that damage throughout Missouri tonight at 10. Our Weather First team was hard at work tracking the severe weather last night, and Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins me now in studio. Scott, we're hearing that the National Weather Service is out surveying the damage to determine just how severe these storms were. What do we know right now?
Well, basically everything we found out so far confirms what we were seeing last night. We knew we had several spin-up, quick-hitting tornadoes. That's been confirmed today by the National Weather Service. There's still a lot more to do, but the good news is things have settled down across the area at this point. Just a quick look outside. We still have some clouds around St. Louis. We've had some spritzes and some showers today, most of that to our north. These are the storms from yesterday moving across across the area during the afternoon into the evening hours. That line of strong to severe thunderstorms occasionally producing spin-up tornadoes. One that's been confirmed now with the National Weather Service out surveying today in that Valley Park, Fenton to Sunset Hills area. Peak winds estimated at 100 miles per hour with a 4.5-mile path there. In Peevely, just a mile-long path there. EF1 damage. Winds, the top sustained winds estimated at about 100 miles per hour. Over in Valmeyer, across the river into Monroe County, Illinois, EF0 with 85-mile-per-hour winds. That was on the ground for about 5 miles. Now, this one that touched down in Maystown and went over by Hecker, causing so much damage, that ended up being a 19.5-mile path as that storm worked its way off towards the east and to the northeast before lifting in St. Clair County. Now, National Weather Service storm survey teams are out still this evening, and they're concentrating over in the Belleville area. They're also in the Hillsborough area, and they'll have more to look at tomorrow and perhaps even into Tuesday. But it's windy and chilly into Monday. The clouds will break late tonight and then warmer and more storms by the time we get to Thursday. We'll see in a few minutes, Mark.
All right, Scott, thanks. This weekend, LGBTQIA+ advocates are pushing back against an emergency regulation issued by Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey. On Thursday, Bailey announced more restrictions that would effectively ban gender-affirming care in Missouri for both children and adults. Dr. Colleen McNicholas with Planned Parenthood says the regulation includes misunderstanding and misconceptions.
More than a dozen academic and medical institutions support the need for gender-affirming care.
Starting tomorrow, Planned Parenthood says it will expand care to new gender-affirming patients. The AG's rule would be in effect from April 27 through February 6, 2024. You can find out more about this developing story at ksdk.com in the As Seen on TV section.